If you're thinking about giving up in business, then this is the right episode for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ridwanullah family. Welcome to a new episode of the Barbar Show. I'm your host, Hussein Barbaar, working to help you build your dream life. Sorry, build your Islamic dream business in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily, all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, owner, and sustainer, the one who's worthy of all worship without any associates or intermediaries. And may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the most esteemed leader and most honorable teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. And inshallah, in today's episode, I wanted to talk to those who are thinking about or maybe seriously contemplating giving up in business. And I think, in general, you should not give up your business. Giving up in the sense of pivoting might be a better option for you. Business, it's a lot of ups and downs. It gets hard sometimes. Sometimes maybe, hit with a reduction in revenue. Sometimes you may be hit with a reduction in employees or staff. Other times, you might be dealing with some personal issues that makes it really, really hard for you to continue on and carry on with your business or businesses, however many you may have or may be operating or thinking about operating. It's good to just, keep going. Like, don't give up, keep trying, move it, shake it and bake it, try different routes, try different businesses, rebrand, restructure, focus on a new idea. Whatever you have to do to not give up and keep leveling up, you have to do that in your business. Maybe you're not as aligned or streamlined with your business as you may want to. So therefore, you might want to figure out how to pivot, come up with a new idea, think about a new idea. Or instead of thinking about pivoting, what about improving, right? Figuring out how to improve and refocus the current business that you are in and improving the quality of that business as well as the quantity of that business is going to be very, very useful for you. And ask yourself, why do you think about quitting business, right? And what is that quitting going to do for you? Is that a better alternative than continuing on with your business? There's a lot of people who get out of business and stop doing business. And the alternative of obviously, which is being an employee or the closest which would be an entrepreneur, they've come to find out that it is actually a better alternative than being in business full time and things of that nature. Because majority of the businesses are actually struggling, right? It's important to know if the alternative would be better for you and thinking about what the alternative is, whether it's permanently or possibly temporarily. To step a little bit back and, see what that really looks like for you and how you can improve, the business. And obviously, if you are in a better situation with the alternative being an employee or an entrepreneur at best, is better for you, then you take that route and be happy with that and, continue on doing, being an employee or an entrepreneur as your main hustle. And, maybe if you choose to continue your businesses and things of that nature as your side hustle, but, maybe sometime later when you regather and regroup yourself and, make some financial progress and move on in that capacity and capability, and you're still thinking about business, yeah, it's time to get back into it. Really see what else you can do, new idea, same idea, better vision, better skills, better team. Whatever it may be, it's going to be important for you to refocus on your business and in your business and try to see how you can take it from an idea to an actual business, and from an actual business to something that is going to make, you know, get you out the hood, in other terms, inshallah. Um, and one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about lately and sharing with some of my friends is the entrepreneurial dream, right? And the entrepreneurial dream is something that majority of us are after as entrepreneurs, whether we know it or not, and whether we like it or not. And that's basically having a business that can work without us, and it grows and gets better and things of that nature, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So until you have accomplished and achieved the entrepreneurial dream, you have to keep going. You have to continue to improve and adjust and adapt, and take a break and get back into it, and so forth and so on. And sometimes your ideas might take a long time to figure out and get together. And it might be the idea itself that takes a long time, or you might be in a situation where you're in a personal situation or a professional situation where it'll take a long time for you to continue this business journey and its ups and downs, and try to make the most out of it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And that doesn't mean you should give up, right? For those who've had entrepreneurial dreams since childhood, and their childhood dream was to become an entrepreneur, those individuals, is going to be very hard for them to give up, business, and, being an entrepreneur and doing business at a higher level, and trying to understand business and try to improve in those capacities and capabilities by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, don't give up, right? And if giving up means taking a step back to regather and regroup to go back at it again, then so be it. But if, taking a break and getting back into a job, or, whatever may have you, is very comfortable, and you don't want to deal with the business, being an entrepreneur, headache, and all of these things, then it is your choice to make at that point. But the point is to never give up, no matter what. If you are an entrepreneur, a true entrepreneur who has these dreams and these obsessions and these creative ideas and all of these things that you want to do and accomplish, no matter how long it takes, keep going until that idea or that dream or that vision becomes a reality and you achieve your goals by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, that's mainly what I wanted to share with you guys today, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And, this is an ongoing journey. You know what I mean? You, you know, figure it out and get it together, figure it out and get it together. Try to always look into what makes most sense, what works best, and all of these other things, and how to continuously work on that and try to improve your business, yourself, your team, your whole professional world, in that sense. But I'm pretty sure, all of the entrepreneurs, one time or another, maybe right now, maybe in the past, maybe in the future, thought about giving up in business, or even in life sometimes, But we're talking about business here. And life is more important than business, but business is the thing that kind of fuels life, in a sense. You know what I mean? Because you need to have the financial abilities and capabilities to take care of your life. So business is essential. And even for those who have jobs, right? They're doing business to a certain degree. They're trading their time for money, right? And sometimes they might be trading it for an amount that is not suitable. So you have to figure out how to start trading your time for suitable amounts of money. And to a sense that you get into your own business and you start buying people's time to build your dreams, right? And that's that famous quote. You're either building your dream business, Islamic dream business, or someone will hire you to help build theirs, right? So it's one or the other. There's not really neither for the most part. So you cannot give up. You have to keep going, go through the hustle and the bustle and the ups and downs, the bumps and the bruises of business and everything else that kind of goes along with that, and not give up. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's all I got for you guys in this new episode, Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Never give up on your Islamic dream business. Keep going. Don't give up, Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's why I usually check out with that by saying, Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family, for tuning into the Barbar Show. I'm your host, Hussein Barbaar, checking out by saying, never give up on building your Islamic dream business in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.